Hey Star Fam, thanks for tuning in. We're here again today for another quick energy check-in with the Ator Tarot deck. And so, without any ado, let's get right into it, shall we? So this is just going to be a quick energy check-in, just to see what the energies are like around my Star Fam. Ooh, okay. Right. So the first cards out are Temperance. Then we've got the King of Wands. The World card. Oops. Come on, guys. Let's not go crazy on me. Ooh. The Ten of Cups. And then the King of Swords. Right. Sorry, guys. Bear with me with just a second. Let me just have a quick look. Okay, so first card out we've got is the Temperance card. Temperance is a major arcana card. Usually Temperance is about healing, it's about balance. I mean, it could be about a journey because as you can see, we've got a path in the background. So it could be a sense of needing to be healed before continuing on your journey. Or something needs to be brought back into balance. It could also be that you need to be patient with something, because Temperance is also a card about patience. And then next to Temperance, we've got the King of Wands. So the King of Wands, again, it's not necessarily gender specific, but the King of Wands, the wands are about passion, creativity, motivation, drive, action, inspiration. The King of Wands is somebody who's very charismatic, very charming, very much a go-getter, very motivating. You know, but on the flip side, it could also be somebody who's quite hot-tempered or quick to temper. Again, with the sign of fire being about passions. So it could be somebody who is normally quick to temper, trying to be patient about something, or trying to heal something. Then the next card that we've got is the World card. Now, the World card could be about, you know, cycles, beginning / end of a cycle, because as one cycle ends, another one begins. This is also a card about travel. It could very much be that somebody just thinks the world of you. How sweet is that? And it kind of looks like it because honestly, hang on, you know what? Let me just go through the rest of the cards first and then I'll explain what I just saw. So the next card we've got is a Ten of Cups, and this is, again, tens are about completions. And as you can see, this is about a happy family, being emotionally fulfilled at home. You know, it's about the pleasures of home comforts, just a healthy and happy, balanced home life. Okay, And then the last card out is we've got the King of Swords. Now, the King of Swords is somebody who is very intelligent, usually a good communicator, because again, the swords are about thoughts, communication. And as far as professions go, this could be someone like a doctor or a lawyer or a surgeon. For some reason, I'm seeing that. Could be a professor. But typically, the king or the queen, again, not really necessarily gender specific, but when it comes to the suit of the swords, people of these professions tend to be the type of profession that you definitely need a higher education for. So again, like I said, dentist, doctor, lawyer, that kind of thing, right? And again, this could also be somebody who, on the flip side, apart from being intelligent and a good communicator and logical, the King of Swords tends to be a little bit less emotional. So where he excels in IQ, he might not necessarily be too great when it comes to EQ. Again, that's not necessarily true, but they tend to be a little bit, I mean, obviously I'm not saying they're completely unemotional and crap, but they tend to be a little bit more logical about things. Things tend to be a little bit more black and white with them. Do you know what I mean? And so when I look at all of this together, right, it looks as if, first of all, I think these two kings are the same person, right? And I get the feeling that this person, when you combine their hot temper with their, I want to say, less than stellar sense of emotional sensitivity, I kind of feel like this person has been doing a lot of reflecting and realizing that maybe they need to be a little bit more patient with how they have been acting towards somebody, or people in general. And so they realize that they have to be a little bit more patient with you. Yeah. I feel like if there was an argument that transpired between the two of you, if this is a relationship, I mean, as in a romantic relationship, I kind of feel like this king understands the need for patience, right? Understands that he needs to be more patient. Again, not necessarily gender specific, but this person who is presenting as a king of wands and swords is recognizing that they need to be more patient and they want to heal a situation, and they know that they're going to need to be a lot more patient with you. Because again, with somebody who, I mean, again, the King of Wands, he's very fiery and passionate. And when you combine that with the King of Swords, it could be a sense where they might say things in the heat of the moment that are really cutting, right? But because they're so passionate about how they feel, it's like they really want to get their point across. No matter what. So they don't care who they have to step over. They're going to get out what they're going to get out. And if you're too sensitive about it, then tough, that's your problem. Right? Which, I mean, some people are cool with dealing people who are that, like, straight up. But other people, not so much so, Like, if you need to confront someone about something, or someone needs to take accountability for their actions, there is a way to bring things up with diplomacy and tact. And normally the King of Swords would be good at things like that, but I kind of feel like The King of Wands side of him, that passion, that kind of aggression, kind of overlaps the King of Swords judgment when it comes to not just blurting out their truth, bluntly. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's the fiery aspect of the King of Wands coming into play with the King of Swords. Again, this doesn't necessarily mean that this is a terrible person. Maybe they just grew up in a really loud household with lots and lots of siblings, and in order to be heard, they really needed to, interrupt and interject. Otherwise, if they wait for their turn to speak, they're never going to get a chance to speak. And so they're just used to talking over people just because that's their family dynamic growing up, which might not necessarily be the same of yours. And so if you feel like they steamroll you when you guys are having a discussions or anything, that could be it. I mean, I'm not reading reversals at the moment, but this combination could imply some narcissistic behaviors. Not saying this person is a narc, not saying that at all, but when you combine someone who's going to be brutally honest in kind of a passionate way, that could come across as being argumentative, right? Again, take it as it resonates, right? Because it's a general reading. And this could be, this is looking more like it's a relationship spread more than anything else. But again, it could be any relationship as far as romantic. Maybe it's a friend of yours. But yeah, this is feeling more romantic to me than anything else. But anyway, so this person knows that they need to be a little bit more patient because, look, they're both even looking over at the Temperance card. Everybody's looking at Temperance. And what's Temperance looking at? Temperance is looking at the fact that you need to come into balance and heal a little bit before you continue on your path, right? So it's like maybe you and your person had an argument and you finally put your foot down and you're like, listen, dude, or listen, babe, whichever gender, you can't be talking to me like that and expect us to get anywhere. You know what I mean? So you're going to have to calm your grill and don't be coming and talking to me like I'm nothing. You know what I mean? Like, just be a little bit more tactful, right? Because again, I feel like this person, I feel like you do mean the world to this person. You know what I mean? You do mean the world to them, and they want this happiness with you, right? I mean, they do love you. Okay? I mean, a lot, because we're at the 10. This is like the ultimate happiness fulfilled. Happy home, happy wife, happy spouse, happy life, happy house. You know what I mean? Happy kids. And just have it all, The wife, the husband, the kids, the white picket fence, although there is no picket fence here. But you know what I mean? Like, beautiful house out in the countryside with a little river running through with a couple of little inns. You know what I mean? So it's like, this is what they want, right? And it would mean the world to them if they can achieve this with you. But they know that in order to do that, they're going to have to what? Calm their grills a bit, yeah? Just calm down. And don't be so... I don't know, the first word that came to mind is uppity. Although I know that's I don't know, maybe that's how you describe their behavior. But not be so aggressive. You know what I mean? I just heard use your indoor voice. Use your inside voice. Right? But again, this can come back to just the way that they grew up as kids. Remember, like how I was mentioning earlier, that it could just be that growing up, they've always had to fight to get their words in, And now that they realize that they don't need to do that with you, they could end that cycle, of constantly screaming to be heard and start to use their indoor voice and realize, You don't need to be so aggressive. We can be happy. You just need to chill out, mate. You know? Again, this could just be because you're the other person, whoever it is just highly stressed. Again, going back to these two cards, it could just be that, with everything that's going on. Sorry, it could be that they're, what did I just hear? Short fuse due to stress. Do you know what I mean? Especially if you're at home and you got the kids working at home, doing schoolwork online, and everybody's kind of like under everybody's legs. You know what I mean? So I understand that the situation could be just a stress-induced thing where they get stressed out and then just become raving lunatics. Well, maybe not that extreme, but you know what I mean. And so it could be that, and it could just be like recognition of the need to heal that stress, because at the end of the day, we don't want this happy home, this happy life to come to an end, right? That's not what we want, right? And we see this because, again, we've got the King of Swords, and he's looking at all of this. See what I mean? Again, we've got the King of Swords, the King of Wands, and they're all looking at temperance, right? Like even the World card to an extent, You see this figure here. Everybody's looking in that direction at temperance, So it's like there is an acknowledgement of the need to heal. Because that this cycle can't continue, especially if it's, I don't want to say toxic, because something like that isn't necessarily toxic, inherently toxic in itself. Because I'm sure if you go visit their family, to them, that's normal. That's just normal behavior. That's just how they are, And from their point of view, that's not toxic. Do you know what I mean? But if they're constantly being loud and screamy and a bit aggressive with you, again, it could be that growing up, they lived in a household full of like 10 people. But now you're just a small household of 4. So they don't need to be screaming at you, like, I'm right here, honey. You don't need to yell. I can hear you. You know what I mean? So it's just about kind of recognizing that and trying to bring more calm into the situation. Okay? Because even I'm thinking about when I was shuffling, these cards were the first ones to come out, right? So you could look at it this way or even this way, yeah? At the end of the day, there's still that needing to heal, right? And in this way, temperance is looking at the king who is looking at the other king. Do you see what I mean? We're still looking that way, So it's like she sees exactly what's going on, And through temperance, you'll find your way, right? So I don't know if somebody's doing some kind of anger management courses or something, but it could be that's the case, or it's just a matter of learning some simple breathing techniques, or again, just, reminding them, shh, inside voice. But definitely this person here who is presenting as these kings, it's like they know it, they acknowledge it, they know what they have to do, and it looks like they are actually going to take the next steps to actually make the necessary changes so that they're not constantly going around yelling and screaming around the place. If that's the case, right? Anyways, guys, I think I'm going to leave that here for the time being. I hope it resonated and I hope it helps. Um, if you did like the spread, please be sure to like and subscribe so you can hear more from me. And for now, take care and I'll see you again soon.